Hi there, my name's Wes, and I'm going to talk about a couple watches. Regardless of what my handle of my YouTube channel says, I don't intend on having a watch channel. Um, but there are a couple of watches that I'd like to talk about. The latest being this Nezumi Aviera in the cream dial, 300 pieces limited, and why I spent some of my savings for Explorer 2 on this watch and whether or not I'm going to keep it. So let's take a look at it. Okay, well, hello there. And I have for you another incredibly amateur review. We got ourselves a Nezumi today, and I fell victim to the limited release. It's supposed to be 300 pieces, and you know, I've been saving up for something, maybe an Explorer 2 Polar and a 5-digit variant, but you know, I just can't help myself sometimes. So what we have today is you know, a second unboxing, if you will, because you know I just got to make sure everything's straight here. But just to show you how well I package it, pretty well there. All these are neat little boxes. They're efficient. They are stylish, and I have here is the Aviera automatic GMT. I think on the side here, the 302 version. I'm pretty sure that this is the 3rd generation with the Miyota movement in it. I know it is with the Miyota movement. I think it's the 3rd generation. But let's keep on going here. 2-year warranty. I think you know, as Jody would say, that's a good warranty there. So if they're a solid company, stand up to their warranties, that's a good deal right there. Little dog bark break there, but as I was saying, pretty well packaged. We've got a little bit of protection there for inside the box, and it's a nice leatherette case. Feels nice. Feels as nice as the case that I just got back from Omega for my Peter Blake being serviced. You know, different style, but there we go. That is our Nezumi Aviera in the cream dial and black digits. It is a all lume background dial, and I had really wished they had put the orange hand on there. In fact, I'm gonna try, probably unsuccessfully, to order one of the orange hands that comes on their black dial watch. I've always liked their black dial watch, and the only thing that's kept me from buying that watch, especially when it came out with the Miyota 9075 movement, was I've just got so many black dial watches. You know, it's just, I wanted something different. That's why I want the Polar and the Explorer. But we've got you know, some extra links. These are push pin links, which really would have been nice to see some screw links, but you know, we'll check out the rest of the quality on the bracelet there and to see what we think as far as the way that goes. Obviously, I feel like I've got a type here, right? So I love the lyre lugs, the twisted lugs, and the shape of these Omega style cases. You know, obviously, Speedy, same deal. It just is just so much, I don't know, more interesting maybe than sort of the slab side that I've got on my Black Bay GMT that just collects scratches like it's its job. So, but let's get this thing off of here. I probably will go ahead and pause and size, but we'll take the stickers off here And I usually like to keep them in. Okay, there we go. I think we got everything off there. Nobody wants to sit there and watch me pick at little teeny stickers. We'll say Nezumi did a great job packaging that bracelet up. Lots of little stickers to make sure it didn't rub. But they also had this little open pull tab, which was kind of neat. So I think the clasp compared, I think they had a fold over clasp pretty recently. Did pretty well. The feeling on them on the edges, which is one of my big pet peeves, especially with the Forstner bracelets, is just how sharp they are. And these aren't as sharp as the Forstner bracelets. They're about as good as I've been able to get it by doing a little bit of cleanup myself on my Forstner bracelets. But I really want to see if the Forstners, either from the Speedmaster or the Seamaster Peter Blake, fit on this Nezumi, because I've got quite a few bracelets and different options that may be nice. I'm really liking the quality of the build. I mean, it really looks nice and tight. I think one of the things that's kind of neat on this one is, instead of that flush Explorer style bezel, they've gone with the fixed. It's kind of raised a little bit, not quite as much as a Speedy, but yeah. But the brushing all looks phenomenal. The numbers are crisp and clean there, and the paint-filled numbers. I've always thought that they probably make wonderful watches, and I'm not disappointed. I don't know if it'll land with me. I've got a lot of watches that it's got to take the place of to get on my wrist. Beautiful case back. I don't need to see the inside of a case back, especially for a Miyota or Seiko movement, personally. But I much prefer sort of a well-executed, stylish case back. So creating bonds, kind of a neat statement there. I haven't actually pulled this out yet, so let's get going on that. So I've heard it's a nice smooth thing. So yeah, I mean, that was a really great sort of smooth, yeah, numbers. See, nice Travelers GMT, as they should be. Sorry if you like the other ones, but it's not my bag. Nice wind. I mean, it's not as smooth as, an Omega or Tudor wind. You can actually feel it winding in there, right? Where sometimes I feel like it's, unless you're talking about the Speedmaster, on the Seamaster, this is an ETA movement, but it definitely feels like you can feel the wheels are turning in this guy here, which is fine. That's not a big problem for me. I mean, really, you shouldn't be winding them too much anyway, as an automatic. But pulling it out, there's no. I wonder if there is there shouldn't be a quick set date at all, because it's I mean, there should be a date on the movement, but yeah, they just go back and forth, so you would never feel that. So sorry for my rambling there, but just thinking through it. The case is very well executed in my opinion. It doesn't have the alternating polished and brushed sections like the Speedy and the Seamaster, but kind of like the older Railmaster, just all brushed, but very well brushed. So I'm liking this a lot as far as quality goes. Seats in nice, and no problems with that. Like I said, I've been trying to get a Explorer 2 and saving up for that. I don't just splurge on any watch I want. It would be nice, but I save, and I sell other watches, and I do stuff like that to get it to it. Buying a $8, $9, $10,000 Rolex is not necessarily going to come quickly. And sometimes when that happens, I get impatient and I drop $800 on something else. Been through a bunch of Steinhardts, been through a bunch of sort of homage type watches that even Crystal Ward's, which isn't a homage, but they're very nice watches, and they just sometimes they just don't sit with me. You gotta it's gotta sit with you. You gotta love it. But I'd really love to see what we're looking at as far as the lume on this. I mean, I've had some light on here for a little while, so it may be too bright in here to see how that works, but I'm not really seeing too much of it. But if I hit it with the sort of the blue light there, the IR, yeah, it's not standing out. But so what I'll do is I'll take it into a dark area. I'll get a lume shot on that because I think that's one of the key aspects of it. I don't have much to say. It's a 39mm watch. All the specs are pretty standard. This is kind of an unboxing. I'm gonna take a second and I'm gonna try to get some bracelets on here and see how they fit and see if anything fits this from my other watches. I like a Jubilee bracelet. I will say this, as much as I like a Jubilee, there is something about it. Maybe it was all the old men in my life that had Jubilee bracelets. I've got one for my Tudor that I like a lot. It's using the Tudor bracelet clasp, and I think it's an Uncle Seiko, maybe a Forstner, but it's great. They're comfortable, they flex a lot, but they style-wise don't always jive with me. I'm gonna try this flat link here, and I've got a President somewhere that I'm gonna try to put on here. But really it's just gonna depend on these end links and see if they sort of match up with the holes. They're 20mm, so we'll take a second here and come right back. Well, sad news, as it usually is with trying to fit one bracelet from one manufacturer to another, and slightly different diameter on the Omegas, but they were pretty close to the Peter Blake end links, but they just didn't lock in. So I was thinking maybe I'll try another spring bar, but I'm pretty picky about spring bars, and I like these nice qualities, especially the Omega ones. And so I don't like to mess around too much, but since it's not on the Omega, maybe I'll try something else. But on the Nezumi, it's got the quick release, which is very nice. Which I didn't also mention here is you've got the easy link, and that's awesome. And you can just push it in to tighten it up. So pull it all the way out, fit it, just tighten it as you need to, and then you're good to go. Love that. Would love to see that on some of these other bracelets. Forstner's is okay in that you get a sort of a T-fit glide lock kind of a deal where you can kind of pull it and adjust it, but it's okay. I mean, you get used to it, and it's pretty quick, and it's better than just having to find a pin to change your pin position on your clasp. So yeah, that's that. But this is a aftermarket rubber strap for the Seamaster, and it really does fit pretty nicely. So let's get a little bit of light here on this thing, and we will maybe get a better look at it there. So as you can see, that fits pretty nicely. I've used the curved spring bars from Miyota on this for both the Seamaster and Speedmaster and the Nezumi. So I really do like it on this strap, and they have really great rubber straps. I might order some from them. I just default to bracelets whenever I buy something, so that's why I got it on the bracelet. I like the bracelet. The clasp is huge. It is functional as all get out, and I really like that. So it's hard to fault it. But I was really hoping to get these guys on here just to have a different style. But I will try again, maybe with a little bit different spring bars, and see if I can make that work. If I ever do, maybe I'll come back and show you. But this looks great on here. I'm gonna go ahead and pause. I'm gonna put it on a couple different NATOs because I just love that cream color. I think it's gonna go well with a couple of things I've got. So be right back. Okay, and here's the first NATO, weave NATO in the tan. Looks really good with that, I think. So I like to wear my NATOs underside, and I do them single pass. This Nezumi, just like my Seamaster, does better with the curved spring bars. They are, it's a pretty tight fit in there for the NATOs. I think you can do it even with the straight spring bar, but it just made it a little bit easier to get them in. So that's what I went with. So we'll try this green ribbed. I think is going to look really good with it. So I won't pause, but maybe I'll fast forward. Still got some little bit of sunscreen from my fishing trip on this guy, so that's yummy. I know what I'll be doing after this. Clean that guy up. And here we go on the ribbed NATO. I think it's going to look good on this this elastic as well from Sigma straps. But yeah, just the cream color looks really good with these earth tones. I would put it on this no pass because I think that is going to look great as well. But, you know, I hate to say it, but it just takes me about 20 minutes to figure this out every time I put it on. It's a longer pass that's supposed to go so you don't get anything underneath. You get a loop underneath. I think it defeats the purpose of NATOs. I think it's fine, but I like it and I like the color, but I'm gonna have to do that some other time as opposed to take up all your time. So we'll go ahead and pause here and see if I got anything. Okay, and a leather strap. This is a gray leather strap I got from Etsy that is really short. They didn't have the right length and I decided to go with it, but I still really like it as far as its color. Looks good. And then that cream with the cream stitches with the cream dial looks pretty good. So one more we'll take a look at. Okie doke, if I can get this thing to focus. This is what we're looking at for the loom on this guy. I'd love to do a time lapse on it, but I don't have the setup here in the dark. And I just hit it with this light for, you know, about that long. That's what we're looking at. So, I mean, incredible legibility at night. I'm not sure how long it'll last, but typically when I'm trying to read it, it's really dark in there anyway. So, yeah, so there you go. Pretty good. I mean, it's probably the best legible watch when it comes to loom that I've got. So, cheers. Okay, so what is the verdict on this Nezumi Aviera? Cream dial, limited edition, 300 pieces, Miyota 9075, Traveler GMT. I'm gonna sell it on. Because I've learned, no, I haven't learned a lesson, but I did at least relearn so I can then forget that One watch that is an homage of another watch, homage, however you want to say it, will never replace that watch. You're always going to want it. And so to take, in this case, $800 out of my savings for a Polar Explorer 2, no matter how nice this watch is, it's not going to replace that. I have some phenomenal watches that I love wearing that this is gonna really struggle to get on my wrist. I have been, loving this Peter Blake for the last few months. It's hard to come off my wrist. It's hard for me to wear my Speedy. And it's even harder for me to wear my Tudor Black Bay GMT. So I have some great watches and I'm lucky to have them. And the fact is that someone else would love to have this watch, and I'm hoping that they do, and I get to pay the price for relearning my lesson. So if it hasn't sold yet and you're interested, hit me up in the comments. But I am going to put it on some Facebook groups that I've sold some watches on before. I've got a little history with. So, great watch. Unfortunately, it's not going to stick around with me. Thanks.